Hello and welcome to the Amiga Art School Part 2, the first of 6 sessions online. And I know the other tutors are busy preparing their lessons as well. But for my part, I'm going to be talking to you about different ways you might draw. And as a subject matter, I thought it might be good to look at something that's readily available to us, and that's the interiors of our homes. And it's a genre that's been used throughout art history, and artists such as Pierre Bonnard, Henri Matisse, artists in the Camden Town group are all good examples of people that have really exploited this subject matter. So I'm just looking at ways you might draw the subject rather than using colour, and starting from an academic approach to slightly looser, maybe more experimental approaches as well. So it's something I've been doing myself over the past few weeks as well, drawing the interiors of my home, and I'm going to show you a few examples of those drawings now. So here's a watercolour of our front room, and of course one of the beauties of painting your home is that you can leave off any detritus or general untidiness that would normally be on show. So the paint is applied quite lightly because it's just a fairly heavy cartridge paper that I'm painting on rather than a good watercolour paper. But each of the studies I've done in this series have started with a pen and ink drawing, which actually makes the whole process a little bit quicker because the pen line can hold or do a lot of the work for you that you would otherwise have to sort of model if you were using just watercolour itself. So here's a couple more examples. So this is my son's room, and then moving into the garden on a nice sunny day with lots of strong shadows, which gave it an added interest. This is the subject I've chosen to base my series of drawings upon. I quite like the simplicity of the furniture, and although the plants are quite complicated, they do make a good silhouette. And the plan is, with the first exercise, is to draw everything very accurately by measuring it. And the thing to remember is you must keep your arm extremely straight so that your elbow is locked, and then you're going to run your finger down the side of the pencil, and then you can bring that measurement back down to the paper, and you can see I've already made a start on the drawing, so that measurement's there already. And likewise you can take measurements along the side and the height of the plants and so forth. The other thing that's quite good is you can use the same technique to help with the perspective. So here I'm putting the pencil against the base of the chair legs, or the side of, or the front of the seat. And again, I can bring that down to the paper and mark that off so that I've got the perspective. So I'll just do that in as a demonstration for you to see it a little bit more clearly. Okay, so I'm just measuring the width of the seat of the chair plus getting the perspective of it, bringing it back down to the paper, and it's quite useful to have another pencil on hand so you can mark those positions and then just join the two dots, and then you can go back again and mark the depth. So, and likewise measure the height of the chair legs, and you can always check the angle of the base of the legs as well. Similarly, you can mark the angle at the back, and mark the height of the back of the chair. Another drawing system you can use is to draw an object any size you wish within the composition, and then use that as a form of comparative measurement. So you're still putting your arm out straight to take the measurements and comparing them with the object you've already drawn. So for instance, by drawing this particular cabinet, I can then compare it to the size of the window, and I can see that it's equivalent to 2 cabinet widths. The window is 2 cabinet widths wide. And similarly, I can then check the height of, say, the chair against the height of the cabinet. So once you've tried the various measured drawings, it might be good to try a variety of media. So for instance, if you've got some kind of graphite stick, you could use paint and a brush, ink, dip pen, felt tip pen, charcoal, fine liner, pastel, and you just see how many different drawings you can do, and what marks you can invent using these different mediums. I hope you found the video useful. Do persist with the 2 measuring techniques, because they are really useful, and obviously you can apply the system to all sorts of subject matter. So if you wanted to, you could maybe do some drawings from your window of houses and so forth, and just use exactly the same technique and measure each section with your pencil, bring it back to the paper, and build up an accurate study of the things around you. And then, of course, when you've mastered that, then have a bit of fun and try some much looser drawings using a whole variety of materials, and hopefully you'll get half a dozen, 8 or more different drawings from this exercise, and I think it will help you understand what sort of artist you are and what sort of is your preferred way of working. And although you may not want to go back to doing the very measured drawings, hopefully the very techniques and the understanding of perspective that it might have imbued might be useful for you in all your work, no matter how you go about it. So have fun, and I'll see you again before long.